Hello everybody, welcome back to Tyrion Cuthbert, Attorney of the Arcane. Let's get into things. Your Honor, the the prosecution, I would like the right to cross-examine this witness. Bailiff? Wait, what? I definitely saved at the end of that last episode, right? Oh, That's right. I was wondering, like, I forgot. I didn't realize. I was like, which witness are we talking about? Right. It's the next day. Oh, God, I love being professional. I just can't wrap my head around it. He just murdered own father for what? Wealth and power? And that's just how the aristocracy works. Even the weakest noble has a large amount of political power. Sometimes I feel lucky that I grew up in Cornhaven. That's probably because you are. Well, where should we go next? Actually, wait, let me check something. Okay, yep. Made sure I don't want to repeat the mistake of the last few episodes where the audio is recording the audio, not my mic. My mic, not the audio. Everything's being recorded. Everything's fine. William retreated into his study to draft a new will. Even if it's not valid, we should try to look for it there. It might give us some insight into the headspace he was in that night. Let's do that then. Come on, where is it? As you enter William Frigga's study, you spot a figure rummaging through the drawers in his desk. Oh, you're Miriam. Why isn't it here? Where else would he put it? Miriam? What? As soon as she notices you, Miriam quickly closes the drawer and walks towards you. But you already saw what she was doing. She was definitely looking for something. This is a crime scene. What are you doing here, Miriam? As if that's any of your business. Wrong voice? Considering that I'm the prosecutor, it very much is my business. I give a side glance at the night station outside the room. They should have stopped her from entering, but perhaps she used her status to intimidate them into letting her through. However, this could be a blessing in disguise. She was clearly looking for something in this room, and you have a feeling you know exactly what it is. What were you looking for? You appear to be looking for something, Miriam. What could be so important that you disturb an active crime scene? It's none of your concern. I'm merely trying to find something that belongs to me. Really? Because I have a feeling that we might be looking for the same thing. You're looking for the will that your father was drafting, aren't you? That's... Were you trying to destroy it before we could get to it? No, of course not. I just needed to see it for myself. Did she really do this? Oh, she also suspicious of Beatrice. I mean, at this point you have to be a little suspicious, right? Why are you so determined to see the drafted will, Miss Frigga? I just wanted to see what my father's final wishes were. But your father already had a will filed previously. Wouldn't that be enough? Ah. You also suspect something, don't you? Of course not. Beatrice would never do something like this. Miss Frigga, he never even mentioned Beatrice. I know how things may look, but please understand. I'm just trying to get to the truth. I don't think your sister did this, but she may have been involved. She may have worked with someone else to orchestrate her father's death. Unlike Leif, she didn't immediately deny it. This means she already had her own suspicions. What is the will, Miriam? I need to see it. I don't know. I haven't been able to find it. You recall that she was frantically searching William's desk earlier. She's probably telling the truth. It should have been here, but I can't find it. He locked the door when he began drafting it. In addition to that, the Inquisition closed the area off after the body was discovered. That means that somebody took it during the lockdown. Probably the murderer. It was probably stolen by whoever killed him, right? Yes, that would make the most sense. Which means that whoever did this wanted to nullify what was written on it. It's looking more and more like the motive behind this was William's inheritance. Anyways, looks like we won't be able to find the will. But the fact that it was taken must imply something. For now, we should follow our other leads. There's also the question of who committed the murder and how. Don't we already know the how? The murderer stole the sword of spell eating and used it to break into the study. That's true, but think about how they would have needed to move around the manor. The murder took place on the first floor, within William Frigga's study. But the gallery was on the second floor. They would have needed to go upstairs, steal the sword from the gallery, and then use it to nullify the lock on the study. Not only that, they would have needed to go back upstairs and find the sword in Beatrice's room. About that, if someone conspired with Beatrice to do this, why would they plant the sword in her room? That's a good point. Perhaps they had a falling out. The partner might have tried to betray her by putting the blame on her. But if that were true, why wouldn't she just sell them out and make a deal with Steelwind? It would be because of the Slayer rule. Slayer rule? Oh, I remember the guy at the rule also mentioning that. What is it? It was a law passed by the Crown centuries ago. According to that law, if someone is involved in another person's death, even accidentally, they will not be allowed to inherit the deceased's property. So even if Beatrice wasn't directly responsible, she'd lose her cut of the inheritance if she took a plea deal. More importantly, it doesn't sound like Miriam completely believes in Beatrice's innocence either. If that's true, what else can she tell you? Miriam, it almost sounds like you suspect Beatrice as well. That's... Am I incorrect? I don't know what to think anymore. Why else would she threaten me? Wait, she was threatened? Miriam, did Beatrice threaten you in some way? What? Of course not. Your testimony yesterday was quite convenient for the defense. It almost got the whole case thrown out. And Leif didn't seem to understand what was going on either. With the way she gave her testimony yesterday, it was almost like she was covering for you. Does he seriously not know? Please, promise me that you won't tell anyone about this. I won't tell anyone. What happened? About an hour after the murder, I was approached by Ruby Tamora. She gave me a list of statements to give in my testimony. The statements weren't true, but she assured me that my status would protect me from any scrutiny. What? She had information that I had tried to keep secret, and she threatened to make it public unless I cooperated with her. No. No! She would never do that! I'm telling the truth. Please. You can't tell tomorrow that I told you. She'll ruin me. Yeah, it shows that her fear is genuine. She's not lying. I've seen that woman do all kinds of shady shit in the cases I've worked. Forgery, bribery, blackmail, you name it. I'll bet you're just the same. A successor for the devil of defense attorneys. The rumors. They can't be true. I refuse to believe it. Hey, Tyrion? Are you okay? Now is not the time to doubt yourself. There's too much at stake right now. You have a job to do. We should check on Commander White. He might have found something. Okay. Just don't push yourself, okay? Yes. We'll have plenty of time to think about this later. You react to anything? What do you think of me? Of other places, I never expected to see you here. I suppose you have a point. I'm only here because of a series of strange circumstances. I definitely didn't expect to see you again, McCoy. Yeah, well, don't get used to it. I still remember how you treated Tyrion back at the academy. Aw. I still have that tea from the Eastern Kingdom, if you like some more. Uh, Alright, I'm listening. Is that all it takes to win her over? A bit? I can't believe that someone attacked AotA. I hope she's okay. I never expected you to care that much about her. Of course I care about her. Uh, I mean, how can I prove I'm better than her if she falls at the hand of some common brute? You can see some cracks in her facade. Aw, Miriam's a good person after all. Maybe-ish. Alright, let's move on. Where are we going? Ballroom? No. Hi, Celeste. What do you think of me? I can't wait at the... Oh. What do you think of yourself? No. I've already done all this. Sitting room. The guy's still gone. As you move around the manor, you peek in the sitting room to see if Von Sanctus is still there. Holy shit! You don't see him there, but you spot another individual. Yeah, a fucking Skyrim character. What the f... He's calmly reading some sort of book, but you can feel the menacing aura emanating from him. This aura. You must be daft if you think I wouldn't notice your presence. What? Did he notice you? He barely entered the room. Before you have a chance to respond, the man pulls out his great axe and rushes towards you. Wait, hi! You bring your arms to block his blow, but hindsight, that probably wouldn't do much against an axe that large. Protect us! You open your eyes. Celeste is now standing between you and the axe-wielding maniac. You're not sure what happened. He also has silver hair. I'm not sure what happened, but it looks like she knocked him several feet backwards. Oh, it's you too. What the hell was that? You could have killed him. You shouldn't have snuck up on me like that. I almost cleaved him in two. That's not a voice my voice can do. Tyrion didn't do anything wrong. Who the hell do you think you are? I am Lucio Steelwind, Lord Lucio Steelwind, Grand General of the Wyvern God Military Forces. Yeah, that adds up. So this is Prosecutor Steelwind's father. They do share the same intimidating stare, although he is not the most menacing person in the room right now. Celeste, it's fine, I'm not hurt. She looks more irate right now, but she begrudgingly sheathes her sword. Anyways, Lord Steelwind was one of the people who was one of the people with a motive to murder William Frege. And as a fellow head of the Pillar House, he might have some information about William and his affairs. I wonder if he did it. Eh. If looks could kill. McCoy, one might misinterpret that look of yours as a murderous intent. Aw, guess you do have some battle instincts after all. I honestly wasn't sure, since you so obviously have a silver spoon stuck up your... Celeste? Such lack of respect and discipline. If you were one of my soldiers, I'd have you hung. If I was one of your soldiers, I'd hang myself. Okay. Let's all try to be civil here. Lord Steelwind, you were here at the Lord's Ball when the murder occurred. Am I correct? I was. Do you mind if I ask you some questions about what you saw that night? Ugh. If that's okay with you. I suppose I must oblige, considering that my daughter has so unceremoniously thrust her responsibilities onto you. Oh boy, I can talk more as this guy. Fun. I'm sorry about what happened to your daughter. I'm sure that you're very worried. Humph. It's her own fault for exerting herself, despite her injuries. Even the bravest warrior knows when to stay off the battlefield. How can you say that? Your daughter was trying to do the right thing. By prosecuting the heiress of House Frege. She had very little evidence to substantiate a conviction. If she wanted to strike a blow on a rival house, she should have been certain that her enemy would fall. But now, if Beatrice Frege is found innocent, any hopes of an alliance between House Frege and House Steelwind will be completely annihilated. It's clear that he and the prosecutor have vastly different priorities. Where were you throughout the night, Lord Steelwind? I still loathe gatherings like that. They're a complete waste of time. I was in this room, furiously masturbating. Sorry. I got myself off guard. But then I received word that Lord Frege's lost heiress had made an unexpected appearance. She was supposedly speaking with the Crown Prince, so I made my way to the ballroom. Did you speak with them at any point? No, I kept my distance and stayed near the King's Guard. I needed to make sure she wouldn't try anything. Was this because you were wary of Beatrice Frege? Yes, I was. The Crown Prince has always been a bleeding heart, and the Freges are trained to sharpen their tongue from birth. I needed to make sure that she wouldn't try to interfere with his engagement. You were worried that she was going to try and take Asta back. I was, but it was clear that wasn't her intention. But you did overhear their conversation. What were they talking about? The conversation was completely inane. It was all just small talk. Lady Frege spent most of her time playing with Prince Alaric. Right, Astra's younger brother was there too. Establishing alibi, obviously. You know that Beatrice had some role in the Mordor, even if she wasn't directly responsible. Did she have some unknown goal by speaking with Astra and his brother? You went to the ballroom when you heard that Beatrice had returned. Was this before or after the lockdown? It was before the lockdown. That sounds about right. This means that she was accounted for before the theft was reported. And did you see her leave at any point? No. She spoke with the two princes for quite a while. She didn't leave their side until she was arrested for Lord Frege's murder. What? Maybe she was accounted for the entire night. Yeah, we knew that. But her thoughts that she was an accomplice in William's death. Was she there to distract the King's Guard? I think you find some of our questions, Lord Steelwind. I'm merely repaying my daughter's debt to you. He was surprisingly pretty cooperative, but that doesn't lift any suspicion off of him just yet. We need to find more evidence if you want to know for sure. Anyways, we should probably move somewhere else. Let's go, Celeste. Ugh. McCoy. What? Your spellcasting is undisciplined, but your battle stance and reflexes are commendable. You have my respect as a warrior. As if that means anything coming from you. What an undisciplined and defiant brat. Not wrong. But what do you think about me? Are we cool? I didn't expect someone of your status to recognize me. I know of you, and the infamous Ruby Tamora. Right. I also know that my daughter has failed to defeat you once. I await the day when she tears you down from your throne. Oh, okay. Cool. Doesn't he disapprove of her becoming a prosecutor? It almost sounds like an encouraging parent. I'll probably just say what you already said about her being Miss McCoy, the Crimson Demon. How do people keep learning about that name? Please, House Steelwind secures the borders of life and God. Don't think I'm not unaware of your illegal travels to the Eastern Kingdoms. Yeah. You want to arrest me? Let's see how that goes. Can you stop antagonizing him? Oh, okay. I kind of figured. And speaking of Steelwind, or Arya, I've heard you don't approve of Arya becoming a prosecutor. Of course I don't. A member of House Steelwind shouldn't debase themselves by doing the work of a civil servant. but she clearly has own motivations for doing so. Is that how you see it? She's merely following the misguided path of the Crown Prince. I regret letting those two meet. That makes sense. Alright, let's actually move now. To the bedroom. Keep it in that corner. Don't let it get away. Get away from him! As Winter reaches his room, you see the Inquisition cornering something near the back of the room. Is it the monkey? No, it's the wolf. It's some sort of animal, a wolf to be exact. Wait, is that... He recalls spotting the same wolf on the night of Valor's ball. Has it been in the house since the murder? Okay, we can read the thoughts of animals. Intruders! Let's protect Queen. What? Did you just read his thoughts? Protect territory from enemies. I was trying to do like a bark. I don't know what that voice was. Protect territory from my enemies. Yup. What does that mean? He sees this room as he is home? You slowly start to walk towards him. Wait, Tyrion. Stay back, kid. It's a wild animal. There's no telling what it'll do. You ignore them and continue to approach him. Don't worry. I'm not here to hurt you. Huh? It's human. He can speak language of dog. Wait, you can understand me. Why are you talking to it? You're speaking pain, dog. Of course Tracker understand. What's going on here? Is IF worse allowing you to speak with him? You've never really tried it before. Perhaps your powers aren't limited to humans. Anyways, this could be a good opportunity. You wonder what else he knows. I love him. Good dog. Tracker, is that your name? How did you... Yes, Tracker is Tracker. That's the name Queen gave to me. Occupation dog. Tracker gestures to Leif when he mentions his queen. He called you his queen. Do you know him, Leif? Yes, but how? How are you talking to it? That's... You were so caught up in speaking to Tracker, you didn't realize how strange this seamless like to everyone else. I'm a dog whisperer. You've never mentioned that before. Do you honestly expect us to believe something like that? But Tracker says he can understand him. He told me himself. Wait, how do you know that? Because he's your familiar. So, Leif, how are you able to communicate with Tracker? I suppose there's no sense in hiding it anymore. Tracker is my familiar. Familiar? So it's the same magical bond Harold has with his monkey. Okay, so I was right, the wolf was a familiar. Wrong person. But that does make you a little suspect, doesn't it? I'm glad that the familial bond allows the caster to telepathically speak with her familiar. That must be how she's speaking to him. You never mentioned him during questioning. It wasn't relevant to the investigation. And I've been keeping him a secret from my family. I suppose that makes sense. I doubt William Frege would have allowed you to keep an animal in his home. Well, I don't appreciate you keeping this info from us. But it doesn't look like anyone got hurt. And aside from this dog, we haven't really found anything new. Damn it, I didn't find any more physical evidence of the theft. Looks like you've run into another dead end. Unless... Tracker, I saw you on the night of the murder. You what? Tracker? Ruh-roh. Looking face. Everything about this is great. He's supposed to stay in this room. Wait, is that why you want to let the servants enter it? I didn't want to keep him in Beatrice's room, but he was very insistent that he stay here. Tracker likes the ambience. Right. Wait, if you live in this room, did you see who brought the sort of smell eating here? I already asked him about that. But he didn't see anyone. He must have been taking a nap. Or well, he was outside even though I told him not to leave. This is fucking dumbass face. I love it. Damn it. Tracker sees a lot of other things too. The Tracker see many new people that night. Right. He was roaming the manor during Lord's Ball. He must have seen a lot of new people. Wait, if he was walking around, he might have seen something that the Inquisition doesn't know about. Can you tell us what you saw on the night of the murder, Tracker? Tracker sees rats. Right, there is this whole thing about rats. This may be more difficult than you thought. I need you to be more specific. Can you go in order? Tell me about everything that you saw that night. Okay. Tracker was taking a nap in room, but Tracker woke up from that sound outside. Tracker hears small things running in the walls. Tracker called Queen, but she didn't answer, so Tracker decided to check out sound alone. Tracker followed sound outside. That's when Tracker smelled the bad smell. Bad smell? That's when Tracker smelled flying rat. You smelled a flying rat? You mean like a pigeon? Tracker could smell where rat was, so Tracker barked at him. Tracker must have scared rat, because he fell onto the floor and dropped his stick. The rat had a stick. Tracker could see them now, so Tracker did one final bark to scare them off. The rats were scared and went back into the wall. It went into the walls? And that's when Tracker picked up the stick rat and dropped. Queen finally answered Tracker. She told him to get back into his room and hide. After a message, Tracker brings Stick back to room for inspection. Do you remember what time this encounter happened? What is time? So the stick is the sword, right? Oh my god, sorry. It's too funny. Right, an animal wouldn't really have a concept of that. What did he say, Tyrion? Did he see anything? Well, he definitely saw something. Okay, let's try to take a moment to work through this. Tracker is an animal, and despite being able to speak with him, his use of words is very primitive. So you should carefully examine each of his statements. The first thing he heard was small things running in the walls. Or that someone else observed something similar that night. It's the rats. Okay, Tracker heard rats running in the vents. The server rooms were complaining about rats running through the air vents, so they sent me to take care of it. I heard one of them running in the vent upstairs, and I followed it here. I figured I had nowhere else to go, so I opened it up and put a trap down. I must have heard the rats that Jan mentioned. They weren't actually running the walls, they were just running the vents. The next thing he did was call the Queen, but she didn't answer. Why didn't they answer Tracker's message? Was it called out to her telepathically? Leif was distracted by... Oh, I thought she was talking to Pops. Leif was Tracker was nullified by anti-magic field. No, Leif clearly didn't want Tracker to leave the room. If he contacted her, she would have said something in response. So something else must have happened. Okay. I was right. Leif didn't respond because she never got Tracker's message. The telepathic capabilities claimed by Familiar Bond were disabled by the anti-magic field. Okay, that's interesting. Which means this encounter happened during the lockdown. So that covers his first two statements, but you're not really sure what to make of the flying rat he saw. Tracker, why did you refer to the rat as flying? Because rats don't usually jump and fly. Yes, I got that. Is it possible that what you saw wasn't really a rat? Rats are rats. They're small things that run and hide. So rat is a general term for him. He uses it to refer to small animals that are acting suspiciously. Anyways, with everyone you know, his last statement doesn't. With everything you know, his last statement doesn't make sense. Why did Tracker finally hear Leif? Queen finally answered him, and this happened after he picked up the stick. That shouldn't have been possible because of the anti-magic field. The stick that Tracker obtained was actually the sort of spell eating. Tracker, about that stick you found. Where did you put it after you came back to this room? Tracker hides stick in safe spot, under the bed. And the stick, did it look like the sword that my friend is carrying? What? Hey, your friend saw my other stick. Wait, your other stick? Yes, Tracker found it while he was hiding from the middleman. Middleman? Is he referring to the King's God? Must have left the bedroom when they were searching for the sword of spell eating. Wait, are you the one who stole that sword? Tracker? I'd almost forgotten. Did Tracker do a bad? It's as I suspected. Tracker was the one that brought the sword of spell eating here. Look at his face. No thoughts behind those eyes. What? I have no idea how or why, but the sword of spell eating was lying in the hallway somewhere. Tracker found it and brought it back to Beatrice's room. His room. That can't be. So the person who framed Beatrice for the theft was... Oh. If it weren't for Tracker, the Inquisition would have never honed in on Beatrice at all. But why would the sword of spell eating be lying in a random hallway? Leif, do you mind if I borrow Tracker for a little bit? It's okay, Queen. He smelled good. Tracker, trust him. Thanks, I guess. Okay, but only if you allow me to accompany you. I know about Miriam's position, but how does Leif feel about you prosecuting Beatrice? It's possible she might be trying to sabotage the investigation if you let her accompany you. But as Tracker's owner, you don't really have a choice. You nod to Leif, but you also send a subtle gesture to Celeste to keep an eye on her. She silently nods and follows behind her. Alright. Tracker, can you take us to the hallway where you found these rats? Sure thing, King. We are king. Looks like you've received a promotion. Tracker like you, friend. You smell nice. Thank you. What did he say? He told me that I smell nice. Oh yeah, I kinda see what he means. What? What? What can you tell? Oh. Tracker, don't. So I got distracted by a squirrel outside. Aw. Okay. I don't like that expression that he does. It makes me feel sad. That's probably all of it, right? Oh, unless... Something about Queen. Yeah, Queen is a good friend. Saved Tracker when Tracker was pup. Is that how you ended up becoming her pet? Yes. I always hear about the other animals joining humans, but Tracker didn't understand until he met Queen. Now I gave Queen protection, and Queen gave me honey bacon. I love him. Alright, let's go to the murder room. No? Oh, no, we're going to the hallway. My bad. You allow Tracker to lead you to the location where he found the sword of spell eating. Surprisingly, it's fairly close to Beatrice's room. He apparently didn't travel very far before he met those rats he mentioned. As you continue towards your destination, Tracker suddenly becomes extremely tense. Tracker, what's wrong? Enemy. No, yeah, that makes sense. You are enemy. Oh, I literally know that this is her theme. Oh. Before you even have a chance to react, Tracker steps between you and Eris and begins angrily barking at her. Oh dear. Tracker, stop that! They've tried to calm Tracker down, but he's undeterred. He continues to bark at Eris, and it looks like it's taking all of Leif's strength to hold him back. I'm terribly sorry. He's not usually like this. Ah, it's to be expected. I'm not sure why, but animals have always been able to see me for who I... You son of a bitch. I'm not sure why, but animals have always disliked me. What is Eris doing here? I recall seeing her at the barracks, too. She said that her father is friends with Beatrice, but is she involved in this case somehow? Anyways, you came here for a purpose. You should examine this hallway and see if you can find any clues. No. What? I don't seem to have any dialogue for that. I see. That's a strange way to say she doesn't know anything about it. Sure is. Oh, that's... You fucking creep lord. Okay, just no dialogue. I get the picture. What are you doing here, Eris? I should be asking you the same thing. I recall you telling me that you were a defense attorney. Yet here you are, prosecuting a defendant, or even leading the Inquisition that you supposedly hate so much. But to answer your question, I'm here on behalf of Beatrice. My sister? Yes. Tamora is occupied handling other aspects of the case. So she sent me here to investigate on her behalf. What? She would have to trust you a lot to let you handle something so important. How do you two even know each other? You said she was acquainted with your father, but... we met during her days at the Imperial Academy. We both studied illusion magic together. Ooh. Oh, were you in the experiment too? Is that why you're so weird? I have always been a patron of hers. It saddens me to see her in this dreadful situation. That would explain a lot. Here's some sort of weirdo science experiment. Supposed to generate anti-magic field during the lockdown. However, this sort of spell eating will make it immune to these fields. What? What? What do you see? The vents have traces of illusion magic inside them. What? The traces also go deep inside these vents. It's the same for the vents on the other side, too. Fascinating. What else do I do? Anything I can present with? Or... Probably not, right? Got everything? Alright, I guess we move to ballroom. No? Oh, Freya. No? Oh, is there something to examine? It's a bookshelf filled with books. I wonder what kind of books Lord Freya owned. No blank. Probably gonna be a lot of the same stuff. Supposedly it's magically reinforced. Monks and politics. Fireplace. Painted some sort of scholar. Some text on it. Right, Rook the cook. Are we going to find out about Crimson Demon? Right, okay, that's all the same. Eggs trapping in bed, similar to the one near Storm. This tracker's bed, it likes resting on a cloud. It's a dresser covered in a layer of dust, but it looks like it hasn't been touched in years. I guess we're feeling extremely dusty. What am I doing? Hi. It's a painting of some adventures in a tavern. Supposedly, one of Frega's ancestors was part of a band of adventurers. I can't help but feel like there should be someone in the top left. It's a chair made from mahogany. Every part of this house just exudes both. Shelf full of books, fake books. Right. Door that leads into a hallway. Perhaps I should have considered locking it to keep out intruders. Yeah. Did you say something else? Why are they going by so fast? Nope. I guess it was a visual glitch. What am I doing? Oh, I need to examine the vents non-magically. Duh. There's an air vent over here, but hit my mic. I'm sorry. Hopefully that didn't pick up. There's an air vent over here. It appears to go from the ceiling to the ground floor. Is this where that rat escaped to, Chaka? That's where the jumping rat went. I thought you said it was a flying rat. Chaka see that too. Okay, probably better to just move on. Anyways, where did this rat come from? Rat come out on the other wall. Do you mean the vent on the opposite side? Yes, Chaka saw flying rat escape that way. What was this rat doing here in the first place? Why would there be traces of illusion magic inside the vents? What spell could have possibly left those traces? As I told you many months ago, illusion spells tend to do one of two things. They either create freestanding illusions, or they can disguise an existing creature. I doubt someone created a small freestanding illusion in the vents, so a disguised creature must have been inside these vents at some point. But these vents are tiny. No one would be able to fit inside them. Tracker could see them now, so Tracker did one final bark to scare them off. The rats were scared and went back into the walls. But a rat would be able to fit in these vents. Well, yeah, I guess that'd be true. But that would mean the rat had an illusion spell active on it at the time. It's not only that. He said that the queen finally answered him, and this happened after he picked up a stick. Well, that shouldn't have been possible because of the anti-magic field. Tracker saw this rat during the lockdown. He would have been inside the anti-magic field created by the lockdown. There can only be one way that the rat could have illusion spell active on it. Wait, you can't mean... That rat was holding the sword of spell eating. What the fuck? What? But how is that possible? Rat wouldn't have the strength or hands to carry the sword. Tracker's vocabulary is primitive and limited. Uses the word rat to describe small creatures that hide and act suspiciously. But even if it wasn't an actual rat, it still couldn't have been a human, right? You're right. It would have been a small animal. A small animal with the strength and dexterity to traverse a small air vent while holding a sword. Like a monkey. Harold, you bitch! Sorry, but I have to ask, is that a monkey riding on your back? Yes. This is my familiar, Eugene. No, are you serious? You know that Harold had a motive to kill William Frege. He was planning to defend the Harrelson Hall of History. They had an argument that night, and that's when William Frege decided that he was going to defund Harold's museum. He must have struck a deal with Beatrice, and with Beatrice's portion of House Frege, she could have easily kept his museums funded. He could have faked the robbery and sent his family to murder William. I can't believe this. And there's something else that Tracker said. Tracker could smell where Rat was, so Tracker barked at him. Tracker must have scared Rat, because he fell onto the floor and dropped his stick. The rat had a stick. Tracker, you said you had a smell to see where the rat was. And when he dropped his stick, you were finally able to see him. Does this mean that you couldn't visually see him before he fell down? Yes, Tracker couldn't see the rat with his eyes, so Tracker used his nose to see it. The monkey was invisible. No one would have noticed a small invisible animal. In addition to that, he moved through the air vents. Eugene would have been nearly undetectable that night. Beatrice is a master of illusion magic, so it's possible that she cast invisibility on Eugene. Huh. Fascinating. And then there's the position of this air vent. We're currently in the hallway just north of Beatrice's room, and the air vent connects to the ground. If you line the two map floors together, this map must lead to the storage room. Right. The air vent there curved upwards, and this must be where it leads. And according to Jean, that air vent led directly to William's study. It would have been the perfect road to enter William's study and leave undetected. But he wouldn't have needed to nullify the lock to enter that room. Why would he need to use the sort of spell eating at all? Because of familiar bond. They can telepathically communicate with each other. Harold probably needed Eugene to hold the sword so he could tell him exactly where to go. The sword's magic affects anyone magically connected to the wielder, and the familiar bond connects them magically. That makes sense now. Harold could have easily faked the robbery to take suspicion off of him. It's even possible that he was lying about how the display glass was shattered. But I've known Lord Haroldson for many years. I just can't believe he'd be involved in this. She may have known Harold for a long time, but she never read his thoughts. His thoughts were very hostile and rude despite his kind expression. He's very good at hiding what he truly feels. And Beatrice, there's no way she'd participate in a plan like this. Look, Leif, I know you don't want to suspect your sister, but it's not that. Beatrice would never trust anyone enough to work together like this. But she's completely blind, and she wouldn't have much of a choice. Even so, she's not the type of person to trust her accomplice to stay quiet. She'd find a way to carry out a plan herself, and she'd only employ someone else if she had full control of them. Liv probably knows her better than you do, but you doubt that working alone would be possible with her condition. And you can't think of any other way she'd be involved in this. Anyways, we're finished here, aren't we? Yes. Thank you for lending Tracker to us, slave. I only want to help you find out what really happened. Don't make me regret trusting you, Mr. Cuthbert. If you're truly on the side of justice, then you won't. Good. Now, if you'll excuse me. So that's it, right? We finally know who committed the murder, then. If you can get Harold to confess on the stand, he might reveal Beatrice's involvement as well. If he does that, you might be able to convince her and Mr. Mora to take a plea deal. Although, knowing Mr. Mora, that will be easier said than done. Anyways, this is definitely the lead that we've been looking for. But is it really enough? We still don't have any physical evidence. It'll have to do for now. We're running out of time. We'll just have to call Harold to the stand to testify about what he did that night. If I can push him far enough, I might be able to catch him lying. But that'll be that easy. He has a good poker face. Just how much will he be able to hide his true thoughts? I already gave my statement to the Inquisition. Is my testimony really necessary? Sorry, old-timer. My orders come straight from the prosecutor. We're going to need you on the stand today. I understand. I'll do what I can. See you next episode. Save on the top one so I don't mess up like I did last time. Goodbye. I'll do my laundry now. I put it in the dryer. It should be done by now. That's cool.